everyone. Welcome back to another manga chapter review. I am the Rat, and this is The Rat's Nest. I'm joined as always by Kyle. Say hello, Kyle.
I love Chainsaw Man.
I certainly do, too. Chainsaw Man, chapter 108, Something Important to Asa. I will say my first reaction upon finishing this chapter this morning was Fujimoto be cookin', and Fujimoto do indeed be cookin'.
And also, it just feels like Fujimoto looks at everyone's theories and decides, no, you guys are correct, and just changes the story based around people's theories to make them just not correct, because everything we said last time was just pretty much wrong.
Yeah.
Like, first and foremost,
I don't think we've ever gotten a prediction correct.
Yeah, Asa did not... I at the very least, I know we were incorrect with the final part of it. Like, Asa did use the power. We did theorize Asa was going to use the power.
Yeah.
And she did do that, not to kill herself, but we'll get to that. So, yeah. Do we just want to get into it?
Yeah, so we get into it. It's still Asa confronting Yuko. You killed a lot of people. Not that many, only 3 or 4. The Gun Devil killed over 1 million people, plus I only killed the bad ones. Like I said, you don't need to do what you're thinking. I was like, reading this, I was like, what's she about to do?
Yeah, that's just hard
me how to make weapons. I doubt that would make a strong weapon. Just do it. Touch something that belongs to you and call its name. I'm telling you, there's no point. Yuko is very concerned about this, so I was confused. And then, and then we get the funny, super strong uniform sword. Chainsaw Man goes full kill, obviously.
Yeah, but before that, there are a couple things I wanted to say about like the first 2 pages. The first one was just a lot of heavy, like, not bargaining per se, but a lot of just trying to justify a lot of her shitty actions from Yuko. Just being like, I only killed 3 or 4 people. But the Gun Devil killed over 1 million. That, you still killed people.
Uh-huh.
But it kind of shows where a lot of her clouded judgment is coming from that.
Uh-huh.
And I also think that she's saying don't do that because she's just... My prediction is just her going to be flustered at seeing Asa naked. That's literally all I interpret that as.
That's totally something Fujimoto would pull.
I mean, like, no, please don't. Like, I'm telling you, there's no point in doing it. Like, as in, like, please don't take off your clothes to make a weapon out of them. And yeah, no, we go full. Page 3 technically, we go full kill mode.
Yeah. As I told Kyle before recording. If people were to draw fan art of this panel starring an age-appropriate character of 18 or up, I would not complain.
As is, I'm just going to treat it as a Kill la Kill reference and say no more because, yeah.
Yeah. Then we get...
it's really funny, though. It is really funny.
It is very funny. And then, so we get to see Asa versus Yuko. Asa using her super strong uniform sword. I'll solve my bullying problem myself. Stay out of it. Don't make me slice you up to stop you. Jeez, Asa, think about it. If I kill bullies, a notorious devil attack bullies across Japan will get scared and bullying could decrease. It could stop altogether. Not just yours, but all the bullying in Japan. That's not terrible logic, right? Like I don't agree. I think you're going about it wrong, Yuko.
Yeah,
I can understand. I do believe that is true. Like, if Yuko were to kill them, then bullying across Japan probably would decrease.
Well, here's the thing. Let me explain this. First and foremost, yes, she's not. It's not. It's the logic isn't wrong, but 2 wrongs don't make it right here. Simply because, you
shouldn't murder people. But I get where you're coming from. Full motive, still murder.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. So secondly, what I want to say is I don't think, she needs to think this through all the way. The only way it would work is if, she's going off what she's thinking in her head of if she does it and then she can proclaim, like, I killed these people because they were bullies. If she didn't do that, like, if she just killed them and said no more, I don't think that would decrease bullying because that would simply just be a devil attack and 4 people are dead. And that's
true. It. That's true. That's true, though.
Because you have to think about, unless, I could see Yuko trying to say, yeah, I did it, I killed the bullies, these bullies are bullying someone. Like, if she were to go about that after killing them, then yeah, that might stop bullying. But just killing bullies in and of themselves, most people aren't going to look hard into that. They're going to see it as, oh, hey, a devil attack happened and 4 students wound up dead. Like 4 people who were close together, and that could be made in the assumption of they were running away in a group and they got murdered. Sorry, I know that was a weird tangent, but that's just what I interpret that as. Like, it's not bad logic, but I don't think it would go the way that she wants.
Also, in the last panel here, we get to see the mysterious new girl we'll meet at the end of the chapter. And then we get the finishing of Yuko's statement. Then I could become a symbol of justice too. I could be like Chainsaw Man. Obviously misguided. She wouldn't be. Chainsaw Man is way too cool. Plus, he's a man. What does Chainsaw Man have to do with this? You even hear yourself. I will say, I am disappointed we never got a full shot of Yoru this chapter.
That's not a big deal. This is an Asa focus.
I'm disappointed. I'm crying. I'm weeping right now. Kyle.
Your personal disappointment aside, we see her say, like, Yuko, when you made your contract, what did you give the devil in exchange for its powers? This is an interesting point that she makes. She says, like, this is a big revelation. There was no give. I only received. When I was given this power, I received a heart that shines the light of justice along with it. So that's interesting, because devil contracts, as we learned from part 1 and most of part 2, there is a give and a take. You offer up something in exchange for a greater power. I mean, that's just a basic concept across most shonen.
Yeah.
But in this particular case, it seems like the contracts are starting to change somewhat. Where she says there was no give, there was only a take, which makes me worried about more powerful devils that can show up in the future because of this.
Yeah, also this could just be Yuko's own perspective on it.
Potentially.
I received a heart that shines with the light of justice along with it. So I've seen some people take this lines and interpret it like, oh, it's like Pochita. Oh, she's a hybrid. No, she's not a hybrid. She's not like Chainsaw Man. They're very different. They're very different. Her entire body has changed. The hybrids, only their head and arms change. Right?
Yeah.
It's entirely different. She's not a hybrid. It could be that what was offered was power in exchange for her body.
And she doesn't see it that way, but
or it could be like what you're saying, and there wasn't a reciprocation. I say for her body because obviously she's changed, and as far as we know, she can't change back out of that.
Yeah, and so here's an interesting thing to bring up with what I was saying about more powerful devils. The reason that held, like, a lot of chapter 1s, or part 1s, characters were held back in terms of power because of what they could offer. Like, we saw Aki offer so many little parts of his body. We saw other characters offer up just some parts. But if the contracts are changing with devils where they're not taking as many people's parts, because a lot of people are afraid to make contracts because they don't want to give up too much stuff. But if contracts are being made where it's like, hey, there's nothing to really offer up, this might lead to more dangerous devils than Yuko.
Yeah. It could also be because we've seen the Justice Devil before in this part.
Yeah.
It could be the Justice Devil itself working towards a greater means than we can see. And so the Justice Devil isn't necessarily too worried about specifically getting something back.
Yeah, it just makes a minimal offer to where people are like, oh, hey, this sounds like a good deal.
The Justice Devil is doing something, right? I think I doubt this is the last time we see the Justice Devil, because this isn't really the Justice Devil. This is just Yuko's form from the Justice Devil.
Yeah, I mean, it's like Aki using the Wolf Devil or whatever it was in part 1. The fox.
Or we have Yuko going back saying, well, I have one more bullet to kill. I'll also go put on some clothes. And also saying, I'm only going to cut off your leg. Sorry. Sword gets batted out of your hand. Yoru goes weak. And then, she's starting to lean a little bit. I told you it was pointless. You can't stop. And then she gets absolutely diced.
I worded it as disintevaporated. Just absolutely just destroyed. Just all of her body parts are just in shambles.
Shambles? Is that a One Piece reference? That's crazy.
Not a One Piece reference.
So this is insane, because this is kind of the first time. I mean, we've seen the War Devil's power before, right?
Mm-hmm. But I think this is probably one of the strongest feats of it, because looking at what Yuko did, Yuko just flicked, she hit the sword. She just touched the sword for a split second, flicked it out of Asuka's hand. That's it. That's all. That's the entire exchange.
And then
that one exchange, that one little flick resulted in I don't even want to count how many.
That.
Yeah, I'm not gonna count how many pieces her body's in right now, but that. Yeah.
It's also something I'll be interested to see is if Asa gets to keep the sword or if it's a one-time thing.
If she could keep it, that would be kind of dangerous.
That'd be kind of strong. It's probably a one-time thing.
Yeah, I mean, with the War Devil, it seems like everything used so far doesn't revert. I don't know, maybe she can get it out. Maybe if she could revert it back, it might lose its power. I'm not opposed to that.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so she absolutely destroys her, and she's just you get Yoru saying strong.
Weak, strong. That's so true. Yoru is awesome. I love Asa and Yoru. So here we have next page. Yoru, you surprised me. The swords I made out of people were always average. Asa going, sure, but my mom bought me that uniform before she died. So again, seeing the War Devil power of the stronger your attachment to an item or a possession, the stronger the weapon. I didn't mean to do this, though. We then get to see Asa remember Bucky. Now, so I think it's that Asa doesn't like to kill things. Because we know from Yoru that Asa, I think it was Yoru anyways, that Asa didn't feel bad about killing Bucky. Maybe it was Hugo. I can't remember. Someone told us that Asa doesn't feel bad about killing Bucky. But she's remembering this as a traumatic thing. And so I think it's that she doesn't like to kill. And that's completely normal, completely natural. But I think that's why she's remembering that here.
Yeah. And then the next page, we see Yuko slowly dying out. It's like, Yuko, are you dying? Don't die. And then we start to get the reveal of this chapter.
You see this mysterious new character. Do you want to save her? Huh? I can save her. Do you want to? Yes. Character walking up. Anything for my little sister. Uh-oh. Your little sister? We're devil hunters. We were notified about the attack. Does anyone know where it was last seen? And then boom, her giant head. So.
There's a lot to unpack here. This implication, and Brandon and I talked about this a little bit right before we started recording. This probably, most definitely, is one of the Four Horsemen devils. Because in order of scaling, we know War is the first one. And then it's, I think, Conquest or Pestilence, depending on whatever, which one you go by. And then, it's War, Famine, then either Pestilence or Conquest, and then Death. My prediction is this isn't Death, but this is probably one of the others.
Yeah. So we've seen Conquest, so theoretically Pestilence won't be in here. And that's assuming that Makima is Conquest, which a lot of people do believe, and I tend to believe that as well. The reason is same eyes. This new chick has the same eyes as Yoru and Makima. And so her being one of the Four Horsemen makes sense. Now, let's look at the possible two. We could also look at Pestilence, I guess, but since it's interchangeable with Conquest, probably not. Looking at Hunger, right? There's not a ton to go off of. Death does have the stronger case, but looking at Hunger, right? My big thing is, and this could mean that or not. Looking at the earrings on her, they're Denji's pull cord, right?
Yeah,
they're Pochita's pull cord. So I think Hunger, because, and this could also work for Death, because it calls back to Chainsaw Man, whose ability is to eat things and then they're erased from existence. So it's his hunger. Now you could also spin that to go Chainsaw Man, who kills devils and sends them back and forth, yada yada. But I think it's that Chainsaw Man connection is closer to Hunger, since Hunger is more special towards him. Because anyone can kill devils and send them back. Now Chainsaw Man does it very well, don't get me wrong. But he specifically can eat the things.
For the sake of as far as we've learned in chapter 1, for the sake of coherency, I want to assume that this is Famine, because we've seen everyone remembers the iconicness of the Darkness Devil. That is arguably one of the most arguably the most iconic panel in all Chainsaw Man. Like the astronauts with the Darkness
Devil. It goes hard.
It goes hard. And I say that because we know it's a primal fear. I would say Death is a horseman, yes, but I would put that more in league of a primal fear. Like death is something everyone fears.
I would think that death is a primal fear too, but also death is a horseman. So it's like, which is better? It's just whenever you think of primal fears, obviously you have darkness. I would think that death would be a primal fear.
This might be a weird thing to throw in, but I'm going to use my experience from the TV show Supernatural for one moment. Okay, is that okay?
Of course.
So in Supernatural, they're dealing in one of the early seasons, I think season 5. They're dealing with the Four Horsemen, where war shows up, and then they deal with famine, and then they deal with I think they use pestilence in their version.
Use pestilence in Supernatural,
and then they use death. And even though death is classified as a horseman, they obviously it's not the same logic. Like Lucifer has bound him, like Lucifer binded him into doing his bidding through like a ritual of sorts. Where death's are like, he only has me work for him temporarily. Like I am the strongest being. If death comes to everyone, and everyone in that show fears death. It essentially fears death. So while death in Chainsaw Man is a horseman, I would still like to believe that death will be saved for like a huge moment later.
Yeah, because the death devil.
It feels too early to play that hand. And like with Fujimoto, and who knows, I could be completely wrong. The next chapter could be the most fire chapter in all of Chainsaw Man. I don't know, but just if I had to assume, I will assume. I like your idea because when I read that too, and it was like, oh, this looks like Denji's pull cords with like Pochita, and I'd like to believe that is the hunger or famine horseman, because that would make a lot more sense in terms of like the story, and it also means that Fujimoto is saving something big for later, because that means if we don't see death right now, we know that we'll get pestilence or conquest and death later.
We've already gotten conquest.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry. Yeah, well, I just remember that she's the control devil, which I guess is the same thing. Yeah. So I want to believe that if this is hunger or famine now, we'll get a huge moment with the death devil later. Because I would put that in more line, like, it could be both a primal fear and a horseman, but I like to believe that he would give it the same treatment he did the darkness devil, or something similar.
I want the death devil to have a huge entrance. Because you think primal fears. Obviously, the darkness devil, if we ever meet them, I think the nightmare devil will be a primal fear. I think like the loneliness devil will be a primal fear.
Yeah, like everyone.
I would hope war is a primal fear. If this is war, okay. Fujimoto cooks, I'll trust him. I hope this is hunger. If it is a horseman, and we're going off of that, I think it makes sense for. Obviously, you had control, which is Makima is just incredibly overpowered. War, it makes sense for war to be less powerful due to the current state of the Chainsaw Man world, without nuclear bombs and without World War II, and with devils, so there's not much threat of war, so people aren't super scared of war, right?
Yeah, that's why she's the weakest right now. But everyone's fearful of famine or starvation. That's what we have to deal with every day as humans.
Yeah, and so, I mean, that's the thing. It's like, I would think that both famine and death would be primal fears, but I guess maybe famine less so. Famine, I hope this is famine if it is a horseman. If not, cool, whatever. Little sister, so this is interesting. It's probably, I want to say this is a similar to case of devil possession because of the eyes and the normal body. Because we just don't know what the war devil looks like. We saw the owl as a symbol of the war devil, but we have no comparison. I guess Makima was human, but also for the control devil, it makes sense for her to take a human form, or a human enough form, kind of like the angel devil. We'll just have to wait and see. Obviously, this mysterious chick brought Yuko back, better and stronger than ever. Maybe now it's Dennis's time to shine. Maybe Kobani will show up. Maybe Yoshida will show up. Maybe what's his name? Why can't I remember his name? It's not Kisuke. That's Bleach.
Kishibe?
Kishibe, yeah. It's Kishibe. I was thinking, I couldn't get off of Kisuke from Bleach.
This is not based on anything at all, but what if this character we're seeing is just Kobani with a different hair dye?
That's so true.
If this were Kobani, I would scream.
Also, this is something I saw pointed out. I doubt it has any relevance whatsoever. On this chick's ear, she has earrings kind of similar to Yoshida. I don't think that has anything to do with it, but hey, maybe it does.
I mean, she could just be someone who goes to the school with a similar fashion sense who made a comeback with the famine devil, because that's definitely what it is, and it's not the death devil.
Or we could go crackpot theory and say the famine devil is the leader of a cult and a sect of devils and devils hunters, of which Yoshida belongs to, of which Chainsaw Man is kind of like a god of sort, or at least like a kind of viewed as like an asset of the famine devil because of his ability to eat stuff. And then that's why Yoshida is ordered to protect him because of her orders, and she's been watching over him at the school. But then Yoru comes to the school also, and so then it's another horseman, and so she interacts with them, and then maybe she's going to get to try to get Yoru to help with Chainsaw Man and to help keep him from revealing his identity. And so that's how Asa and Denji get up and they get married and they have children.
I was listening until you said until they got married.
Why'd you stop there? That was getting good.
No, but that's a really big crackpot theory. I'm excited for next chapter. There's a lot that will happen.
Watch that be the one I got right. Watch everything I say happen. It won't, but it'd be fun.
It very well could be. I like your connection with the earrings in terms of like Denji and Pochita, and I think it'd be really cool if Denji was like a spawn of sorts of the famine devil. Because also, look at Denji's character. If you want to make the whole like character analysis real quick, Denji is a character of hunger. He is someone who desires more than what he currently has.
His desire has always been food. Since chapter 1, a lot of focus has been placed on food, and he ate Makima. The Chainsaw Devil is 100% connected to the Famine Devil. This is the Famine Devil. My theory is absolutely correct.
Yeah, and I mean I hope it is. That would be really cool. And who knows? Maybe we're both wrong, and this is like a new type of devil that Fujimoto was like, hey, what if this one was one of the four horsemen?
What if Fujimoto's just setting up Denji to have a harem?
Maybe he tried with part 1. That didn't work.
It's tradition at this point for every girl Denji meets to try to kill him. I don't think that's going to end anytime soon.
Where's power? Did that strike a nerve?
Got any final words, Kyle? Got any words before I end off the episode?
Where's power? This was a good chapter.
If you enjoyed this video, be sure to leave a like and subscribe and leave a comment telling me how correct I am. And whenever you guys come back to this video in years after everything I said was correct, you can say that I am Tatsuki Fujimoto. I am him. You guys can say that in the comments. Check out Goobers and Screens. Bleach is going to start airing this next Monday, and it will be bi-weekly. It's a very good series, and I'm really enjoying it. This Sunday, we are going to have a review of the first 3 episodes of Chainsaw Man because One Piece is on break. And so we will have that for you guys. And we hope you all enjoyed this video. And